Pero itong obispo ninyo, patayin ninyo, patayin ninyo, patayin ninyo. Walang silbi yung mag
What's up at welcome sa Pocho Clock. Sa channel na ito, mahilig akong sumuri ng mga relo ng mga kilalang personalidad at magbigay sa inyo na masabot kayang alternatibo. Alam ko po miss na po nating lahat si Papa D, kaya naman sa video na ito, susuri tayo ng mga relo ng 4 sa mga pwedeng sumama sa kanya sa dahig. Una po dyan, former Justice Secretary Vitaliano Aguirre. Pangalawa, former PNP Chief Oscar Albayalde. Pangatlo, Senador Bongo at pang-apat, Senador na MIA Bato de la Rosa. Bago po tayo magsimula, wrist check muna. Suot ko ngayon ng Argos Intervalum Consistence na bunga ng isang collaboration between Argos Philippines and De Guzman and Company, both Filipino watch microbrands. Kung gusto nyo bang ma-notify kapag nag-drop na ang video review ko para sa relo na ito, please subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon. At formally, before ako magsimula, Happy Chinese New Year po. Hindi na ako magpapaligoy-ligoy pa. Tara na. Dito po muna tayo kay Vitaliano Aguirre na mapapansin niyo po dito. Noong una akala ko po si Senator Rodante Marcoleta. Parang idol niya po si Senator sa kanyang buhok. Pero focus po tayo dun sa relo. Ang kailangan po nating tingnan dito, the case, na parang oyster case siya, like other Rolexes na nakita na natin before. The other thing to note would be the tone of the case na silver tone yan. And then let's look at the bezel na parang fluted siya, parang marami siyang ridges. And then if we look at the dial, and this is quite important when surmising what this watch might be, the color of the dial seems to be ice blue from this photo. And then let's look at other characteristics of the dial. Parang may banner at the 12 o'clock position na pag ganon. At the 3 o'clock position, there seems to be a date at meron pang cyclops doon sa crystal. And then the other thing to note when it comes to the dial would be the use of Roman numerals. And finally, just below the banner that I mentioned dun sa 12 o'clock position, parang may branding dun na Huggies crown. At dahil sa mga katangian na yan, tingin ko this is a Rolex day date reference 228236. And the day date I've talked about a lot on this channel. It's one of Rolex's most prestigious models in terms of the material that they use for the case and bracelet. In Rolex's current catalog, I don't think na gumagawa sila ng Rolex day date in stainless steel. Kaya yung relo na ito na nakikita nating malamang suot ni Vitaliano Aguirre, it's made of a precious metal. And in this specific case, when it comes to Rolexes with ice blue dials, ang material na ginagamit ay platinum, which, if I recall correctly, is the most prestigious metal in Rolex's current lineup na ginagamit nila. And so that just means when it comes to the price of this watch, it's going to be much more than what we typically see pagdating sa mga Rolex models of the same style. So ang relo na ito, it retails for 4,064,000 pesos. Pero syempre, dahil alam naman natin na Rolex is not going to be selling you these sa mga stores nila dito sa Pilipinas, kailangan nyo pumila ng mahaba. So typically that means that you have to go to a seller on the secondary market where I see it sell for up to 4.8 million pesos. So napakalaking halaga po niyan. So normally if we want this kind of style, we'd have to go look for alternatives. At ang napili kong alternative would be the Casio day date. Ilalagay ko na lang yung reference dito. So kaya ko to napili because of the day date complication. I think that's quite obvious. And the blue tone on the dial. However, when it comes to the concessions, visually that blue is not ice blue. So it's a darker shade of blue. Tapos syempre yung relo, ang important dyan would be the movement. This watch has a quartz movement as opposed to the automatic mechanical movement on the Rolex day date. Aside from that, other concessions include the materials of the case. So ito ay stainless steel, hindi siya platinum. And the finishing of the watch, it will be quite rough around the edges. The last concession that I would like to highlight would be the size of this watch. It measures 35 millimeters across. That's 5 full millimeters smaller in terms of the diameter compared to the Rolex day date 228236. However, this watch retails for 5,300 pesos. And that's quite a distance from the 4.06 million SRP and the 4.8 million maximum secondary market selling price of the day date. So I think it's a good option if you're just going for that low and idol nyo si Vitaliano Aguirre, pwede nyo pong i-consider ang relo na ito. Dito naman kay former PNP chief Oscar Albayalde, ang kailangan po nating tingnan, dun muna tayo sa bezel nung relo. It looks like a rotating bezel na dive style yan, normally ibig sabihin. And if we look at the font style and the size of the numerals used sa rotating bezel, medyo recognizable. Ang laki kasi. Parang malaki na yung font size, tas bold pa sila. And then aside from that, let's look at the dial. So una, kulay itim yung dial nito, it seems from this picture. And the shape of the markers, they're quite pronounced. Medyo malaki-laki sila. At sa mga katangian niya, I think this is a Tag Heuer Aqua Racer, the one with the caliber 5 movement, the WAY211A. So Tag Heuer is typically known for their racing style watches as opposed to their dive style watches. However, I think the Tag Heuer Aqua Racer is no slouch when it comes to specifications and sometimes even the looks. I think this watch does look quite good. So ang relo na ito, it has 300 meters of water resistance, and that's something that's above average when it comes to dive style specifications, and that's why I said this one is no slouch. And the truth is, Tag Heuer is a good choice when it comes to entry level luxury, lalo na yung mga models katulad nito. On the secondary market, they sell a lot less than they sell for at retail. So I think these types of watches are good to start with and seriously consider when you're just getting into the hobby. One thing I do find that Tag Heuer can improve on would be their endorsements. I think Tag Heuer has so many endorsers, and there's not a lot of organic reach when it comes to their watches. So it's easy to look at one person, maybe artista, celebrity, na nakasuot ng Tag Heuer and just think na, oh, kailangan niya lang isuot yan kasi may endorsement deal siya with Tag Heuer. And from a Filipino perspective, I think at some point, si Manny Pacquiao naging endorser ng Tag Heuer. So, this watch, it's already discontinued, this specific model. May updated versions na ng Aqua Racer sa catalog ng Tag Heuer today. Pero nakikita ko pa rin to on the secondary market where dito sa Philippines, I see it sell for up to 80,000 pesos. Sabi ko nga, compared to other luxury watches that we normally look at on this channel, this is quite affordable. Pero ang 80,000, syempre, kahit affordable yan kumpara sa ibang mga relo na tinitingnan natin, let's stay in touch with the reality, and the truth is, it's still quite an expensive watch. Ang alternative na naisip ko para sa inyo, kung gusto nyong gayahin si former Angeles Mayor candidate Oscar Albayalde, yan po ang Alba ASV 9V37X2. So kaya ko ito nare-recommend because of the dive style and the black main color of the dial and the bezel. Concession-wise, the accents on this watch are red instead of yellow na nandun sa Tag Heuer. Aside from that, the finishing of the watch will be quite rough around the edges. Even comparing to something like Tag Heuer, it's not going to be quite as noticeable as other higher tiered luxury brands, pero the difference is still quite there between Alba and Tag Heuer. Aside from that, the movement of this watch is quartz as opposed to the automatic mechanical movement on the Tag Heuer. And materials wise, syempre medyo mas maganda yung dun sa Tag Heuer, but not by a lot. And then the last thing na difference ng dalawang to is not necessarily as a concession. I think it's an advantage on the part of the Alba. It's just the fact that the Alba comes with an additional strap, and that just makes this watch more flexible. And given the price point, 6,000 pesos at retail, it's a pretty good deal. This is a good looking watch for that price, and it comes with an extra strap. So that means you can use this watch for a lot more occasions, and you can change up the look depending on your mood. Ang maganda kasi sa pagpapalit ng strap, it makes you feel like you have a new watch. So kung naghahanap kayo ng dive style watch na itim with a bit of a playful accent, this Alba is a good way to go at 6,000 pesos at retail. Dito tayo kay Senator Bongo. Ang kailangan nating tingnan sa relo na ito ay yung kulay ng dial, which looks like sky blue. Tapos pag tiningnan nyo sa bandang 7 o'clock position, parang merong metro doon. And I think that's a power reserve indicator. Let's also look at the hands and the indices. And I think, dahil sa mga katangian na yan, tingin ko this is a Grand Seiko SBGA 407, nicknamed the Skyflake. This is actually the first time that I'm featuring a Grand Seiko watch on this channel. Similar to the Tag Heuer before it, ang Grand Seiko kasi is a luxury brand price-wise, but you don't see a lot of celebrities and politicians wearing this watch or this brand all that often. Kaya masaya din ako na suot to ni Muse Senator Bongo. And this specific watch, yung nabanggit ko kaninang parang metro sa 7 o'clock position, is a power reserve indicator that is typical of watches that are powered by the spring drive movement. So the spring drive movement comes from Seiko and Grand Seiko, and it's a mix between a mechanical movement and a quartz movement. Ang spring drive is one of my ambitions in terms of adding to my collection kasi napaka-swabe nung sweep ng second hand pag ginagamit ang movement na ito. And I think very distinctive when it comes to Grand Seiko. Their dials are inspired by nature. And so ang relo na ito, it has that sort of snowy texture but is blue. It takes after a watch that is called the Grand Seiko Snowflake. Kaya Skyflake ito kasi sky blue version ito nung Snowflake dial. And I think it's quite funny kasi ang Skyflake typically as Filipinos we associate it to the biscuit. But in this specific case, it represents something that is for me very very elegant and very classy. And this watch, ang SRP niya is 364,500 pesos. And on the secondary market, I see it sell for up to 300,000 pesos. So normally we talk about Seiko on this channel. And so in terms of the alternative, pinopropose ko sa inyo ang SRPB 43J1, which comes from the Presage line of Seiko watches. Kaya ako napili ito dahil sa dial color and the dressy style. In terms of the concession, the finishing, and the movement. The watch, it sells for 24,950 pesos on Seiko's website or Philippine website. But I reckon kung pupunta kayo personally in store, makakuha kayo ng discount sa relo na ito sa mga Seiko boutique and sa mga at Tokyo stores. I think even sa mga department store, they have this watch sometimes. And so I think at this point, the question that people normally ask is, ano bang relationship ng Seiko sa Grand Seiko? For me, Grand Seiko is the luxury version of the brand Seiko. And when it comes to comparisons or analogies, siguro the best analogy I can give you is Seiko is to Grand Seiko as Toyota is to Lexus. And I think that's a flawed analogy, but it's as close to a perfect analogy as you can get at this point. While Seiko is made for the mass market, Grand Seiko is really for those enthusiasts and those who can afford luxury watches. And so these two watches, I think you cannot go wrong with either one of them. Personally, I really like the Skyflake, especially with the dial, the nature themed dial. But there's so much in Grand Seiko's collection right now na hindi ako makapili. But soon enough, I do want to get a Grand Seiko watch, specifically with spring drive movement.
Ayun.
Pag tingnan po natin yung relo ni Senator Bato dito, mapapansin nyo parang merong kabuti doon sa 10 o'clock position ng case. Yan ay isang helium escape valve. Meron din po itong dive bezel at meron itong parang mesh style na bracelet, no? At in some footage, bukod dito, napansin ko na meron itong aged or parang luma na itsura or dating. At dahil dyan, tingin ko ito po ay isang Omega Seamaster 300M. Not just any Omega Seamaster 300M. Specifically, the one that was used sa film na No Time to Die. Isa pong James Bond na movie, no? Caveat ko lang kasi in the past si Senator Bato, no, napagkamalan na merong Patek Philippe Nautilus with Tiffany blue dial na turns out isang modded watch pala. At dahil po dyan, hindi ko po maiga-guarantee na ito ay isang Omega Seamaster 300M, the no time to die version. But still, tingin ko malapit-lapit naman ako kasi total, James Bond po ng Pilipinas si Senator Bato. All that said, pag tiningnan nyo po itong relong ito, mapapansin nyo, parang napaka-stealthy ng look. Wala pong polished surface sa relo na ito. Gumagamit ito ng titanium na napakagaan po na metal at mapapansin nyo medyo aged nga. So, parang stealthy no, yung dating niya. At Daniel Craig had a hand in designing this watch. That's why I think this is such an important watch no, involving the actor who will use the watch in the design process. It's, I think, quite unique. No? Not saying that it's right or that it's the best for the movie or for the watch. I think it's just a unique move on the part of Omega and the creators of the James Bond film. That said, ang key characteristics nito, bukod sa titanium and yung pagiging stealthy niya, yung broad arrow na makikita nyo sa dial. Typically po, ang ibig sabihin yan, pagmamayari po ito ng British government. And that makes this a divisive choice on the part of Omega, although they did ask for permission from the British government, no? Kasi hindi naman totoong tao si James Bond, pero nilagyan ng ganitong simbolo sa isang totoong relo na isusuot ng ilang mga tao, no? Kaya medyo strange choice. Personally, I didn't mind it. And I personally like the design of this watch. In fact, naging owner po ako ng relong to for a very brief period of time. What really put me off was yung pagiging magaan po ng relo, pati yung helium escape valve. I just decided in the end, it was not for me, and I ended up selling the watch and obtaining a better piece. Isa pa po yung kwento para sa ibang video. Let's leave it at that for now. Pero kung tanggap nyo po yung helium escape valve at yung pagiging magaan po ng relo na ito, then this might be for you. And if you're in the hunt, ang SRP po nito nasa 658,000 pesos. May kamahalan po, pero sa totoo lang wala po akong nakikita sa mga boutique niyan these days kasi a few years ago na din since na-release itong relo na to. In fact, it was released before the movie was released. That being said, in the secondary market, pwedeng umabot to ng 450,000 pesos. And that's still a significant chunk of retail. So, baka sulit pa rin po, no? Lalo na kung loadin nyo si Bato talaga, then do not hesitate to get this watch. That said, most people po, no, including myself, I actually prefer the alternative that I'm proposing dahil nga dun sa helium escape valve, no. Ito po ay isang Seiko, ang SRPD 73. Napili ko to kasi meron din po siyang mesh style na bracelet at medyo aged din po yung itsura ng relo with a dive bezel. So I think akma po, no, na alternative ito. Ang masasabi ko lang sa relo na to, it's a great watch when you're just getting into mechanical watches, which is yung target audience po, no, nung mga video ko. Yung SRP po nito, lampas lang ng konti sa 18,700 pesos. I've put the links in the description as well para kung interested po kayo, I encourage you to buy the watch, to give it a shot yourself. I have tried one on myself and I think yung fit po ng mga Seiko 5 Sports na dive style watch is very fit, no, for my wrist. So I think for most men out there and even for some women, I think this is a great place to start. Ayun, nakakita na tayo ng mga sample ng mga relo ng mga gustong-gustong sumama kay Papa D sa Dahig. At sa lahat po ng mga relo na tiningnan natin sa video na ito, ang pinakapaborito ko dyan, yung Grand Seiko. I really love the texture of this dial and how classy it looks. I love the smooth sweep on the spring drive movement of the Skyflake. At doon naman po tayo sa alternatives. Ang pinakapaborito ko doon, yung Casio Day-Date. I think dial-wise, the watch really comes close to how the Rolex looks. Although rough around the edges siya, given that price point, I think it's nigh unbeatable. Pero opinion ko lang po yan. Kung iba po inyong opinion, kung tingin nyo meron pang ibang relo na masangkop bilang alternative, let me know in the comment section down below. Kung nagustuhan nyo ang video nito, please hit the like button. At kung trip nyo yung ganitong klaseng content, watch reviews, pagsuri sa mga relo ng mga kilalang personalidad, please subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon. Yun lang po, maraming salamat sa oras ng panonood. Laters, yo!